Well, hello, fellow traveler. Come on in, sit for a spell. It's been a long road. Take a load off for a while. We're going to dive into the old arcane annals of BS and sort our way through the riffraff and the flotsam and jetsam and figure out what frequency is coming in over these next 72 hours. It's lining us up with what's ahead. And I had some interesting downloads coming in for this one that I want to dive into with you. The first one is that we are about to enter a revolving door to rhapsody. Rhapsody, those experiences that sweep you up in an enthusiasm that can take on a life of its own, a sense of spiritedness. And also that quality of just feeling carried away by something, carried away by the current of something that makes us feel a new lightness of being. I do feel that before we enter into this revolving door of rhapsody, which is not just one road, but it's more like funnels. It feels like funnels that connect at different points to different experiences that evoke this quality of rhapsody, that ultimately take you to the road that will be your muse. Musing is another kind of rhapsody when you experience art or an experience in mundane reality that feels otherworldly because it touches you so deeply and you can feel how profound it is, even though it comes through a rather ordinary channel. That's another form of rhapsody. And I feel we've been having this message come in about a path opening up that's aligned with our north node, our path of purpose, the thing that feeds our heart fire. But we've also had this message of the creative energy and the musing inspiration coming in. And the message of the path itself being the teacher. But I feel the lessons that come in, the learning that comes in is coming in through the quality of the muse. So there's something about discovering the muse, but the muse as it's found within you. And it's more the experiences that you're encountering that are activating the muse that you are to find the source of inspiration within yourself and what's unfolding within you right now. And you've been on a long road. You have passed through fire tests of truth. There's been times when you've had to hang in there, times when you didn't know if you would make it through. The road that's about to open up and all the connecting points with this revolving door to rhapsody are going to be requiring a lot of presence and that your full energy shows up for the ride. There's no 1 foot in, 1 foot out with this. And so after what you've been through, and all the hot seats you've had to find yourself sitting in, you might need to sit for a spell, put your feet up, and just give yourself a little bit of respite. Because, see, you're at the stage of becoming right now where over the next 72 hours, you're moving out of the crystal state. Already, your wings are starting to unfurl, but they're gossamer wings. They're delicate. They're fragile in their initial opening. So you can't take off just yet. You have to acclimate to what you're becoming now. And I feel like there's signs of this. The muse within you will stir it. Will stir it in your consciousness. You'll see what you're becoming. It's going to come upon your consciousness quite unexpectedly. And there was an interesting plant ally that came through. The spirit of aloe came through. Now, aloe can help us when we have gone through that transformational fire, when we've been forged in the fire of the master maker, and we passed our trials and our tests, and we're ready to see what that opens up to us now. But you can feel a little burned out. You can feel a little depleted. Some of you have been engaged in active spiritual dilemmas where you had opposing forces you had to navigate. And you had to learn how to transmute that energy, navigate it in a new way, not fight fire with fire, but instead move more into your water, move into that tempering quality, where you learned how to give yourself over instead of resisting, where you learned how to take in a bit of the poison being directed at you with those darts and let it be the thing that arrives you at the cure. So you've been working more with this quality of strength through softening. The strength that comes through this gentle, steady persistence. There's something to be said for the quality of endurance to overcome. Endurance is a resilience in and of itself. And so there is this calling to mind a need to fuel up over the next 72 hours and to just start to acclimate to these changes that are starting to occur in you, what you're becoming aware of here. Also, tangible things that you see shifting in your environment, in your day-to-day experiences over the next 72 hours. You're just going to spot signs that something is done. A difficult passage you move through is done. And aloe is here. The spirit of aloe is here to help you relieve a little bit of that quality of feeling spiritually burned out from the road, so that you can be prepared to enter into this revolving door of rhapsody. Because if you're not really ready to take flight and move into that kind of elevation, well, it really does spoil the opportunity, you know? So there's something about just giving yourself a little breather here for a moment. Get acclimated. Aloe acts as a guardian too. It's known to be a protector, to protect your home, to also ward off evil eyes. So you could have been dealing with energy coming at you from others. Some of you have a tendency to still be working on how to establish your boundary lines energetically, spiritually. There's a difference between empathy and codependence. And I think people who are naturally empathetic people who have compassion for others. I'm not talking about being an empath. I'm talking about having the quality of true empathy, where you really do care for people. And when you see another struggling, going through something difficult, it hurts your heart. When you see what's going on in the world around you, you feel impacted when you see how much division there is, how much there's the struggle, how much we still have such a long way to go. You can feel the weight of the world at times because you feel your personal connection to that too. But there is a difference, you know. There's a difference between being empathetic and there's a difference between being codependent and feeling like it's your responsibility to hold the weight of the world. And there's some of you that have been working with that, just really figuring out what is mine to hold, what's mine to release. And that's also part of opening your wings. It's hard to take flight if you have a lot of stuff weighing you down. So this is something coming through over the next 72 hours as well. Okay? Aloe can help with this. Aloe can help show you what you can let go of, what's not yours to hold. Aloe can help you stay focused on your own lane, your own road, instead of being worried about how others may be focused on you. There can be a way that focusing on others who are focused on you can keep you focused on them as well. And then you can be in a position where you're really being held back because you're not directing your focus in a direction that leads you to that revolving door of rhapsody. Now with this revolving door of rhapsody, it's going to be these flitting sort of experiences. Remember, we've been talking about this, these fleeting moments of beauty and how profound they are, because they teach us the nature of the temporal reality. And that shows us really how life is a treasure itself. And there's such richness in each and every moment. And each and every moment is precious. So don't put off the things that speak to your heart. Don't put off the things that are tugging at your soul, because nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. Everything is going down in this moment right now. And it may seem that you have faced a major ending in your life. But what you don't see is that you're not meant to hang out here like a martyr. There's a new journey opening up here. There's magic ahead. And the waters that were tainted, they're being transformed as we speak with that unicorn medicine, that unicorn horn. Can take the waters that were poisoned and transmute them and make them the waters that are the cure. So there's this new sense of awareness, of feeling, intuition that's awakening in you. And it's going to help you decipher, which can only be really discovered in a moment of giving yourself respite from a struggle, from trying to figure things out. A moment just to maybe indulge in a little gourmand experience, you know, just really taking in the flavors and the senses and the delicacies and the pleasures of life, just to fill up for the road ahead. Because this journey, this revolving door to rhapsody, though it's lined up with many different fleeting experiences of beauty that awaken the muse in you, it goes on for a while. It goes on for quite a long stretch of road. Until you get where you need to go, you're going to need endurance for the road ahead. And the road will shape you. It will shape you. And you're just getting a hint of who you're becoming now. But wait until you see the final result. There's something quite magical opening up here. And I'm excited myself because I know we're getting to that crescendo point. We're getting to that crescendo point where we're really going to experience the blessings of Jupiter in Cancer. It's coming soon. The window between June 14th and July 14th, that's when we enter that revolving door to rhapsody. Watch, it's going to be like chutes and ladders, man. Just traveling to so many spaces, places, emotionally, physically too. The experiences you're going to have are going to take you in quite a different direction than you anticipate. Give you quite a different view of your present circumstances as well, yourself and others. So it's a cool energy. But aloe. Yeah, you might need a little aloe. Aloe also helps to heal wounds. And it was really fascinating that what came in with aloe too was frankincense coming in as an ally. And frankincense is also known to ward from more malevolent kind of influences. Frankincense is often used in spiritual cleansing. Frankincense is used in exorcisms. It's used to drive away baneful spirits, you know. But there's another quality to frankincense. Frankincense can also heal wounds that are resistant to healing. Frankincense can also help to heal scars. It's resin. So there's this piece too. There's something about having a wound heal. Having a scar finally mend, something that's been with you for a long time. It's going through a process of finally healing. And that was a road itself. That's the journey you've been on. You know, people don't talk about that. No, healing can wear you out. It's a positive thing, you know. It's beautiful to go through the whole experience of becoming what you are now on the other side of that deep wound. It really is. But man, it's a lot of work, you know. And you can get tired. You can feel wrung out. So allow some of this heavier energy to be lifted away from you. Bring in frankincense. Bring in aloe. Of course, you can actually work with that resin. You can work with aloe on a very physical level, or you can work with it on more of a metaphysical level, you know. Maybe restore a little bit, do a meditation and call aloe in to your meditation and ask aloe to teach you how to nurture the places within you that feel really burned out so you have what you need for the journey ahead. Ask aloe to help soothe where it hurts, you know. Ask aloe to fill your cup, hydrate you when you're feeling parched because you've been through the desert on a horse with no name. Maybe the horse ran off completely. Well, now it looks like you got a unicorn coming in that's going to show you how to transform what mucked up the waters in the first place, put something new in your cup, empty out that gross cup and actually find something more sustenance. I like it. Yeah, see? You're not going to hang around here. You do have the truth. You have Fragorock, the answer. And you knew that you had to point that tip of the blade to get the answers from yourself. You had to point it at you. Sometimes we have to fall on our own sword. But that's what allows you to cut yourself down. You went through some kind of transformation here. And this is the stage where you see what it is like once you finally did release that old skin and you're starting to come into your new form. You worked with a bit of that trickster medicine. We don't mean to do it, but you know, when you go through a really potent transformation, that's usually the way it comes through. Oh, what? It was me all along? You know, it's like you get to the end of the Scooby-Doo mystery. You take off the mask from the one you got caught up, and it's like that Eight of Swords action. Whoa, it was me all along. You know? We play tricks on ourselves. Tricks on ourselves so we can get rooted in a new kind of power, you know, a new kind of power. And that's the power of really understanding that we own our experience, no matter how it shakes out, no matter what comes at us, who comes at us, how they view us, what they do to us. At the end, it's how we choose to maneuver that counts. You can react. You can move out of that destructive fire. You can come from that place of onboarding a truth that was hurled at you that actually doesn't even have any resonance with your own sense of inner integrity. Or you can move into the water and you can just let those judgments flow on. Instead, you can respond. You can respond. There's no need to be activated. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't help to focus on what the other's doing, to mind what others are doing. To focus on what others are doing has you focused on them. And meanwhile, here's this revolving door to rhapsody, you know? It's going to pass you by. So there's some sense, and I think it's just natural. It's human nature that when you've been through a process where you move through a lot of heavy stuff, it can be difficult to let go of the focus on reflecting on that. But that's what you're being encouraged to do here over the next 72 hours. Allow yourself to be freed of feeling hung up here anymore. And start to set your sights on the dawn, because you're going to see the light starting to filter in here. You're not where you were before. You're taking on a new form. Let's get some more details here. A lot of channeling coming in right now. Just right off the bat. Having a little bit of a conversation with the cards. See, this is what we're shaking off right now. We're shaking off the Frodis. Now, of course, the Frodis is representative of those dark forces that are trying to establish the new world order. But the reality is, we already talked about this last time, these energies kind of have one eye open right now. They understand there's a consciousness shift. See, as we start to take on our new form, it challenges the stronghold of the Frodis and what's currently kind of creating this film over our collective experience that we all need to bring our energy together to purify here. Because what's happening here is a deep fundamental healing. We're each going through it on our own level, but when we look at this kind of collective healing, this is a healing that also extends to the macrocosm. It extends to the earth itself. It's recognizing that when we tend to the waters of the earth, we're also tending to our own waters. It's making contact with the anima mundi, the world soul. This is when we're starting to really feel that sense of interconnection with everything, the interrelation, that we are all part of this diverse biosphere. And we're starting to become more aware of the pollutants. We're becoming more aware of what needs to be cleansed here. Now, certainly we're going to see this happen on the macrocosmic level. But remember, this is a moment of respite for you. We will get to more macrocosmic energies down the line. But remember, yeah, Big Brother may be watching you, but we don't need to watch Big Brother watching us. You know what I'm saying? Because that in and of itself is a diversion. That in and of itself is a psyop. This is about us instead saying, no, it makes more sense. Well, yeah, there's awareness around that. But to direct my focus there isn't going to help right now. I need to direct my focus on what I'm becoming and who I'm connecting with here. And what we become when we bring our energies together and how that rolls out, okay? So there's something that's happening on that sort of biosphere kind of level. But I'm almost seeing it going down to the molecular level too. You know, every single cell in your body is like a little world in and of itself. I feel like there's a lot of old programming, cellular memory here, stuff that's just gunked up, you know, it's sludgy. It's sort of like, you know, we've talked about this, the holy grail, the grit, grime, and the oil of being under the machine and everything we've been navigating here. Well, that also, you know, happens internally in our energy field. It happens down to our cells. And when you've been moving through deep healing, like we all have with Aries and Chiron, the deepest healing of the self, well, you might got some sludge you need to clear out. You know, you might need an oil change. So there really is something about this, like clearing everything out, wringing it out, really starting with the clean template here, clean slate. And I think it's like all the cells in your body renew every 90 days, something like that. So there could be something about this coming in here where we're about to enter like this 90-day pocket of major transformation. And the goal is to overthrow the Frodis, release its stronghold. And to do that, how? By responding. By responding, not reacting to this, right? But responding by putting our focus on What gets this motor running? Yeah. Because something has taken a free ride for too long. It's like hitchhiking on the energy. And it's having too much navigational sway here. This is like needing to take back your own sight. You know, it's like this energy has been hitching a ride. It needs to be ditched to free up the flow. All right? And already, I mean, like I was saying, you know, you got your wings unfurling here. Yeah, the birth is here. Judgment coming through. Rebirth is slick. Because you're cool like that. Okay? But there's a necessity to not allow this funk to come forward with you. Because this ain't the right kind of funk. This ain't the kind of funk we're looking for. This ain't like Rick James funk. This is funky stuff that needs to be shed because it's got no place in what's going to come through moving forward here. So we do have to just have this moment of kind of like respite and really bringing our energy to ourselves and feeling out, what do I need to kind of fill my cup, restore myself here, fuel up. Give myself just a little oasis, a little moment here, pause, before I head on down the road and see what's coming down the pipe, okay? Also, just look for these signs of life that are starting to sprout around you. And I think it's important to ward these things that are starting to break through into your reality, things that you seeded here. It's important you ward those from the Frodis. Because you don't need another round of stagnancy, not as everything is ready to enter this beautiful flow. Yeah. And where something is raising your hackles, don't ignore it. Don't tell yourself, oh, it's probably nothing. I mean, come on. It's a lot like the Frodis kind of energy. See, you can start to be in this place where your wings are unfurling and the Frodis can convince you that you're still in the goop stage. That you don't have a clue. When actually you're getting ready to take flight. What's behind is probably nothing. I'm telling you, stay focused on your target. Don't get distracted by the side dishes. Stay focused on the main course. Again, we already have judgment sounding here. Right? So don't negate those feelings that rise in you. They're kind of like, that feels a little off. Or that feels a little funky. And not the good kind of funky. All right? Take heed of it. Do what you need to do to clear it out. I don't know. Light some frankincense, you know. Do what you need to do to just purify the energy. And then get back to focusing. Get back to focusing. Focusing on yourself and also the directive that comes in as you give yourself this respite space. Because I feel like there's some helpful influence coming in here. The 3 synchronicities continue to be a theme. We've been having that come in a lot. There's three major synchronicities that are going to come in here over the next 72 hours. There's connecting points. You'll see, okay? And you may even have things come in groups of 3s. Pay attention with that, okay? There's some helpful influence coming in here that's really going to hone in your focus to let you know where you need to kind of keep your sights set so you don't get bogged down in this, because there will be attempts to try to dupe you into thinking that you're still in the goop stage when you've actually just unfurled your wings. Okay, soon the moment to take flight will come. Just like the shark, man. Just like the shark breaks that barrier and is able to take flight when it sets its sights on its prey, you know. There's something here that you've been praying for. You've been praying for a resolution in your life. You've been praying for a way through. You've been praying to understand, what is my next step? What is it that you want of me? What do you want me to do? You know, I mean, I think there's a lot of people I know when I talk to people, there's so many people that are like, are we ever going to get there? I mean, what is the point? There's a lot of people who have been very patient, and they've been waiting on that divine timing, you know? But the thing is that I think that is so misunderstood about divine timing is when you're truly in the flow, divine timing, it's always right here. What are you waiting for? Divine timing is always here. It's not some event that's off in the distant future. It's all here. But if you're moving through your life in a reactive way and you're not able to respond, if you're coming forward all the time with a wall of fire and you can never enter the water and the flow, you'll never see it. You have to be able to be present. You have to be able to be engaged with your life. You have to be making contact with life, not going on autopilot to be able to see divine timing. And the minute you recognize that what am I waiting for? Divine timing is here. It's already here. It's right here. That's when you totally shake off the Frodis and you enter that revolving door of rhapsody. And it's just something that's so going to amplify and continue to multiply these experiences of synchronicities, things lining up, helpful people, doors of opportunity, revolving doors to rhapsody that give you enthusiasm and make you realize that you were really just holding yourself up. You are the obstacle. It's not anything outside of you. And I'm not saying that there aren't people out there who could be coveting what you have, or that there aren't people out there who don't have the best opinion of you. And maybe there are people out there that are gossiping about you, or they want to try to sabotage you, whatever. We live in a dog-eat-dog world. That's how the program was set up. You have so many people out there who think the only way to succeed is on the back of another. But the reality is, none of that matters. You don't really get anywhere that way. And really, that only has the power that you attribute to it. Once you stop giving it that power of your focus, your attention, you're really going to see that it's been misplaced and that it was that focus that was your obstacle all along. That was your block. That's what was preventing you from accessing divine timing. And you kept asking for it. When is there going to be the divine timing? When is there going to be the moment? When do I get to the other side of it? When do I find the way through? And it's sort of like Spirit sitting there like, yeah. $33:33 on the clock. You've been free to go all along. I mean, anytime. Anytime you're ready to step out of these crossroads. Why are you like defending this particular post with everything within you? You're willing to fight. You're willing to fight to stay stuck right here. No, I'm going to stay stuck in that wound, that deepest wound of the self. I'm going to stay stuck in Aries and Chiron, and I am not going to budge. And see, there's something about that too that many people don't recognize, like how attached you can become to the wound. I was hurt. I was wounded. Yeah. It happens. Not downplaying it. It happens. But understand when the wound can become the thing that gives you a pass to be a martyr. And how much there's nothing that can be given the blame for that if you allow yourself to live from that place. So I like this because it's really kind of an intense energy coming through as far as just really owning one's experience, but also really understanding that it's here. You don't have to wait. There's no more waiting. Divine timing's here. You have proof. Please just give yourself respite the next 72 hours. Just really allow yourself to engage fully with your life, with what you're feeling, with your own personal nourishment, care, rest, whatever you need to get your fuel up here. And allow the recognition of that to come through. Because once you do, whew, you're on your way. Revolving door to rhapsody. And something will really culminate with that blue moon in Sagittarius on the 31st. Really rare experiences coming through there. I think that's the point when you finally realize that you are ready for the road ahead. Yep, it's coming in with that rebirth energy. This is the moment of seeding the new potential. Look at all the transformation. Lots of fertility. It comes in with that blue moon. Right? Something is renewed, coming back to life. And that's when the Photis loses its grasp. No more acquisition as the result of oppression. The tables turn. The tables turn. And that's when you really take flight. You'll be ready. You'll soar to new heights. You know, the digging ghost. The digging ghost. There's something about having to give up the ghost. You don't need to keep digging something up in your consciousness over and over again. There's finally going to be this time to lay the ghost to rest. It's almost like this ghost that's been haunting you is already digging its own grave, its own resting place, because it knows that time is up. You know, this could be like some sense of even spirit attachment that was almost created through focusing too much on pain, too much on the trauma, too much on what wounded you. You know, there's something about that. We can breathe life. We can breathe inspiration. We can animate the spirit of the thing, the spirit of grief, or the spirit of heartache, or the spirit of rage, or whatever it is that we went through. And it can kind of hop from person to person. It can filter into our experiences, and it can mar our view of our world. It can put a filter on our reality tunnel, and it can really shift the way we experience life. But I feel that this ghost is finally being laid to rest. It's releasing its stronghold, and it's no longer going to be the ruler of your kingdom here. Okay, something also that was really an inequity, that was unfair, something that was built off of your energy, that was built off of some way of putting you down, or keeping you held back, or keeping you in a place of living small, is being completely cleared away here. Time's up on that. This is a new reality, and it's happening on a macrocosmic level as well. I mean, people really do need to understand that mode of operating is falling away. It's going to take time for people to see it, but they will come to the recognition. It is unavoidable. With Pluto in Aquarius, it is absolutely unavoidable that eventually there has to be a focus that shifts from the individual to the community, from just me to the collective as a whole, and the accountability that comes with the recognition, that conscious awareness of the recognition that this is a collective movement. It is a global collective movement. And that's taking the energy further out there, right? But it has to start within each of us. Each of us has to come on board, and that's what's happening here. It's going to feel like there's a magnitude to the experience, and that's because there is. It's the seeding point. But what the seed becomes is a movement. It's powerful, really powerful energy. So renewal coming in here, big time renewal coming in here. Let me do a cut of the deck and see what we got. Yeah. So in the meantime, do look for these different aspects of you, these secret parts of you, things that you've never seen about yourself before, starting to reveal themselves. And as you're looking at your own face in the mirror, you may even feel that your own reflection is morphing before your eyes. You're starting to see who you're becoming here. It's like you're getting acquainted with yourself. It's really cool. And yeah, pretty soon it's go time. Diving all the way in head first to divine timing, the moment you've been waiting for, that's actually been here all along. And you give up the ghost. It's laid to rest. And the new journey begins. So it's all happening right now. Something about, you know, allowing yourself the next 72 hours to just slow down a little bit. Allow yourself to create a little space wherever you can to start to sense these shifts, sense these changes. I'm going to go ahead and get around here, tarot. See what is still kind of cloaked here in the shadow and what's in the active state of transforming. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, you know, easy does it, okay? Easy does it. You're not even aware yet. The treasure you hold in the form of this seed, something you're about to plant. Just hold it. Just hold the new energy. Become aware of it in your body. Become aware of it in your environment. Become aware of it in your experiences and the guidance coming in. You don't have to do nothing with it just yet. Just give yourself this moment. You need to fuel up. It's really important. It's really, really essential at this time. And yeah, do a little clearing work, you know. Bring in frankincense. Bring in aloe to help you really mend those wounds. Heal those scars. Even see the beauty in the faint reminder of the scar that's left behind and how it was a journey to empowerment and all that's about to come through for you now. Okay, let's check it out. Bottom of the deck, look at that. You see? Successful completion of the journey. You have finally healed something. And on the other side of healing something comes the renewal energy, the rebirth energy, the reinvigoration. So it's on its way. We already know. Look at that. You alchemize something. Divine timing. It's here. It's already here. You don't have to wait for it. But you do have to recognize that it's already here. So it's so important that you have this mindfulness. You have the mindfulness. You can enter that revolving door to rhapsody right away. You don't need to wait. The light is ready for you to access it. You already transformed something. You've just been so caught up in the act of transforming itself that it's glamored you a little bit. 44 on the clock. It's glamored you a little bit. Yeah, look. See, you've been like so focused on this. You've been so focused on the self-reflection and sorting through your past, and your fixation has been on all of the stuff going on in the South Node that you don't realize that this cup is ready to be filled with everything that's being held in your North Node, that star of destiny. It's already shining brightly in the sky for you. It's time to be on the rise. You have the wisdom you need. You've gathered the light from the South Node. You have the wisdom you need for the road ahead. You've already gone through the transformation. Carried went through you in the cauldron of creation. You've been tumbled about. Your rough edges have been made smooth. You've been washed up on the shore, and now you're ready to head on down the road like that great bard Taliesin. You just need a little sustenance for the road ahead, you know? Little sustenance, little nourishment for the road ahead. I think there is a need too to just have that moment of really understanding, like, wow, I made it through that. I made it through that. And I don't need to live from that place anymore, because there's something that is coming in to bring fulfillment here. Beautiful energy, Aquarian energy with the star. And of course, with Temperance, we have Sagittarius. So you see, you're going to be very aware that something has been alchemized, transformed with that Sagittarian blue moon. And something does get rooted there that opens up this revolving door to rhapsody, I'm telling you. And I do feel like it's when you get to take flight, right? Flight. But that flight of the butterfly, you know, it's a fleeting experience of beauty. So really just appreciate each of these moments that are coming in to remind you that there's still life in you yet. And there's still beauty to be found on the path up ahead. I love this. Everything is coming out transformed. Look at that. Wheel of Fortune. You've resolved the cone. You know what the sound of one hand clapping is. It's a snap. It's as easy as that to realize that the transformation's already here. This is a turning of the wheel of fortune for you. You got all the knowledge you need for the road ahead. Judgment. It's time to rise and shine. I mean, hello. All major arcana. Look at that. All major arcana. I'm going to do a cut of the deck. I want to know, is there anything that we need to be aware of that could really just keep us in a space of not seeing the forest for the trees? Because when we're looking at major arcana, this is when the fates are at the wheel. Like, you can't bypass these experiences. This is going down. And not only is it going down, it's going down right now. There is so much Sagittarian energy on the board. 3 of these cards are Sagittarius. Look at any Sagittarius placements you got going on in your chart and check out your 9th house. Also, Gemini is Sagittarius's descendant sign. Check out your Gemini placements. Check out what's going on in your 3rd house. Communication really lit up here. Travel, journeys beginning, your philosophy of life, spiritual awakening, moving into greater expansion, experiencing a more optimistic view, feeling like, yeah, I still got it in me yet. I can still go further down the road. Feel all of this, like kind of coming in, everything brewing, tapping more into the optimistic quality as well with the star Aquarius energy coming in. Okay? But really, that full moon, there's something going down there that rights wrongs, that brings about balance in a situation that's been very out of balance for far too long. And it really makes it quite clear what the path to destiny is. But just in case, let's just see if there's anything that wants to come through to kind of alert us. It came out transformed again. Take your respite while you're still in these last phases of that new moon energy that Taurus initiated, okay? Because a situation where you felt betrayed, or something was terribly unfair, or you dealt with some kind of cruelty, is being corrected. And whatever that was that took you to a deep place of needing to really learn how to integrate that kind of pain, you're going to see that it's that experience that is the vehicle forward for you now that leads you to all of this. I mean, I really want you to acknowledge the power of this. Look at this. This is what's lining up for you. This is nothing. This is nothing. It's being balanced out. Something is finding its place of rest. Paid in full, karmic balance. The road is clear, and you will have the answers you need, and swift, safe passage. Because the workings of the past have been earthed and they've come to a close. Powerful, man. Interesting energy. Multi-layered too. 51:33 on the clock. Wow, double sixes. Double sixes. Yeah, closure. Closure of a time of being at the crossroads. Two fates could be intertwined in relation to this too. Let's get some numbers of synchronicity to cap this off, shall we? And then I'll also get a little bit of that ERISIAN Spirit Board action to see if there's any other messages that want to come in. Wow, I can't believe this. Dude. Double sixes again? Wow. So yeah, that's 12 total. Piscean energy, house Pisces. So yeah, no more blind spots. It's like we're drawing down the insight. There's helpful insight coming through here that's being drawn down. Spirit's really going to reveal to us what we need to see. There's like communication coming in here that frees us from the crossroads. Gemini energy. Also, Virgo energy, South Node energy coming in real strong here with that 6th house. Okay. Yeah, the work is complete. Now it's time to see what the work created, you know? The fruits of the labor. That's what's coming through here. And then I see on this side, what came through was again 3. Real potent Gemini energy front and center. It is Gemini season. Of course, we also have Uranus in Gemini too. So it is that kind of wild card energy coming in with the 5. That is the Hierophant. It's also Leo energy, the 5th house, bringing in the pleasure, bringing in a time of just having a little bit of carefree respite, you know. We have the 1st house of Aries coming in pretty strongly here too. Also Aries is just really front and center right now. We are really retrieving those dreams out of nothing. It seems out of nothing, but it is out of something. It is out of the fruit of her labor, all this integrative healing work we've been doing. It allows us to tap a greater potential of our alchemical abilities. That's the one thing that healing teaches you. And when I say healers, I don't really like to use the term healer in terms of how you help other people, because I don't think that a healer really does that. A healer is simply somebody who knows that the work is to heal themselves. Healer, heal thyself, you know? So this is what I really feel is getting activated, that the healer archetype is getting activated, but not in like a codependent way where somebody feels like they have the answers that will mend somebody's soul. It's more like recognizing like, no, you know, this is my gift to be able to heal myself. And as I heal myself, I grow in personal empowerment. And as I grow in personal empowerment, that allows me to step into a different level of my alchemical ability. This awakens the alchemist in me. I become the magician. I also become the high priestess, okay? All the water sign energy coming in there, right? Also second house, Taurus activated. Yes, you understand the value of the work. You also understand a new value for your experience. You understand the richness, the wealth in that. There's a new interpretation of what it means to be wealthy. The 3 energy connected to the Empress, Libra, Taurus energy there. The Empress is the consciousness that's being drawn down right now so it can be rooted on earth. It creates a little bit of heaven on earth. We got the 9th house of Sagittarius coming in here as well, moving into that expansion. 4th house of Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer. That's what's lining up here. We're really stepping into that rebirth of Venus energy as we move into the time that edges up to June 14th, which is a new super moon in Gemini, to the new super moon in Cancer that arrives on the scene on July 14th. We have that rebirth of Venus. I almost said Eden, which is interesting. Okay, so we're experiencing a little bit of that paradise on earth. We're returning to source here. Okay, this is what is being drawn down right now, that consciousness. Okay, to bring a bit of that heaven down to earth. Archangel Jophiel, we've had Archangel Jophiel come in before. That is the energy of Archangel Jophiel. Brings a little bit of that heaven, roots it down on earth. I like to merge the energy of Archangel Jophiel with fairies, he of the fiery sword, that invocation of the will. So really merging, you know, the earthly domain with the heavenly domains, and understanding that humankind is the bridging point of that. There's an interconnectedness there. We had that quality come in with Hecate, right? That download about the gift of the keeper of the keys, these portals of awareness, the different states of transformation, and also the parallels of existence, these different dimensional realities, heaven, man, earth. Each of these qualities are a certain dimensional state of reality. Your consciousness is going to start to embrace more of a heavenly perspective, also a very earthly perspective too, and understanding that you as the bridge have a certain power you hold in being a conduit for rooting that growth, that fecundity of the Empress here. A lot of dynamic energy coming in, okay? We got the 7th house of Libra, relationships, you know, meaningful relationships, forging connections, things that are built to last. This is all starting to come in right now. It's got the 11th house of Aquarius here. So a lot of communication, a lot of expansion. Technological communication is happening as well. And of course, there's a lot of progress in those sectors. There's distortions of what's viewed as progress too, right? We see that. We see what's kind of rolling out there is being seen as technological advancement, but is actually creating more of a homogenized, artificial sort of experience. But there's also the counterbalancing to that, which is more conscious connection coming through technology, communities sprouting up on the web, you know, and forging a new way to use that medium to root something different here. That's a way through too that hasn't really been explored up to this point, but is going to start to be more focused on. There's a lot of shifts coming to the technological arena. I also feel like there's going to be a lot more communities opening up, platforms opening up that are going to make it possible to speak freely, not have to navigate through so much censorship. You know, there's something that's going to shift there too. I feel like there's a bit of a revolutionary movement coming through in that regard. Okay, let's go ahead and get some messages coming in here. Little ERISIAN Spirit Board action, and just see what comes on through. To cap this off, the first thing I saw was Ray, and it made me think Gold Ray. And I'm thinking Gold Ray because that is the energy that Archangel Jophiel works with. So there might be something about working with the Gold Ray. I also see, this is interesting, on the side of Ray, there is NBA. Okay, so there could be, ooh, and with that I got rat. Interesting. Huh. So there could be something coming out around an NBA player named Ray, plays for the NBA. Somebody might be getting caught up in some trouble, or somebody might be ratted out. That could be something going on more the macrocosmic level. Yeah, we got DA coming in here. District attorney involved in that, okay? It could be some kind of announcement on the platform X coming through in relation to this. Yeah, it might become a little bit of social media fodder, because I see Raz here too. Like somebody might be kind of taking some heat too. It could be exposure around somebody ratting out an NBA player. The name Ray could factor into that. Okay, not sure what that is. I also got Fae hanging out here. Okay, so Fairy are at the forefront. Also, the name Fae could be coming through too, but it did make me think of the Tuatha in there. So let's see, what is Fairy wanting to highlight for us? What does Fairy want us to know? I got moi coming through, which makes me think the fairy who was kissed by pixies. Okay, so maybe the Fae have a little part in this revolving door to Rhapsody. Okay, you might be getting a little spirited away here, a little enchanted here, especially those of you who do like to connect with fairy. Okay. Just don't eat the food, man. Hey, don't eat the fairy food. That's all I have to say. And that's no lie, I see. That coming through. No lies detected, okay? Let's see. Anything else? I see fun. Okay, so there's a little fun in store. For those of you who are on a path of fairy and you're connected to that action, there's a little fun in store. You're going to experience a little enchantment here. I got it's a Brian Froud card, the fairy who was kissed by pixies. Pixies are a little tricksy, okay? They are. They're a little playful, okay? But I do feel like this is some fun. It looks like fun, right? No lies detected. It looks like fun. Let's see here. Some of you are getting fairy wings. You're getting your fairy wings. You're not getting angel wings. You're getting fairy wings. It's a coronation, okay? Oh, I like that. That's cute. Okay, let's see. Anything else coming through? I got soul coming through, S-O-L, as in the sun, okay? So yeah, get some time out in the sun. I think that that's really important. I have Colorado coming in as a point of interest. I also have justice coming through, justice, and I also have the Roman numeral coming through for the Hierophant. So yeah, I do feel like something is being balanced out in a big way. I just heard that something is being balanced out as well in the courts in a major case, okay? And there's also some kind of, I heard some kind of pardoning happening as well. And where the pardoning is happening, it's justice. This could have been something long-standing. It could even be like some kind of restitution for false imprisonment in a case. I feel like whatever that is, it's a KO. It's a knockout. I don't know. KO, it made me think of Hurricane, that song by Bob Dylan about the fighter who got sentenced for a crime they never committed. It's got that energy, okay? So somebody could be getting their name restored. There could be some kind of overturning of a verdict in a case. I feel like this is something like real long-standing, way overdue. Somebody's getting the keys to freedom, right? Justice coming through very strongly there in relation to that. Interesting. A little bit of grab bag energy here. You see if there's anything else that wants to come through. I got TI coming in. Okay. All right. So TI, rapper TI, tip may be in the news for some reason here. Got California coming through too. Got the name Cal as well. Could be something about a significant other. So that makes me think, in relation to TI, that makes me think of Tiny. Right, so there could be something about them coming out. There's always like some kind of like celebrity stuff, worldwide stuff that comes through in relation to this. I got Missouri as a point of interest as well. Okay. Kansas City, Missouri, specifically. All right. The name Al in connection to that. Okay. You can call me Al. Okay. Al may need to call on somebody for some help. All right. Interesting. Anything else? I got the name Valerie. I'm hearing Val can also be a masculine name. This is weird. It is coming through as somebody's name. Okay. Vale. V-A-L-E. Vale. All right. Person of significance. I just heard. All right. That'll mean something to somebody. Anything else? Anything else? I got Michigan. Some stuff going down in Michigan. That IOU coming in relation to that. IOU. Huh. IOU. Something connected to a boss energy. I owe you. All right. Not sure what that is. I'm sure things make sense down the line. It's weird the way things come through. Huh. Ah, I think she was originally from Michigan. I got fat. Toby Inigwe's wife. Okay, so there could be something coming through with her. All right. Interesting. Ooh. Got Ori coming through with that. Okay. Some kind of blessing. Spiritual blessing through the bloodline. Somebody owes fat something here and it's coming on through. All right, I'm gonna cap it off with that because it's gonna just kind of continue to go off on the rails there, but I think you get the gist of the energy. 1:10:44 on the clock. It's a magic moment. That wheel of fortune is turning. Something's getting rooted here. It rises you above the challenges of the past. You had the strength to endure, and now you're truly stepping into your power and also stepping through a revolving door to rhapsody. So don't miss the divine timing because it's already here. Godspeed.